What's going on, everyone? Today we have another road test today. Today we are doing the New Year's grab bag. So what that is basically Element14 finds a bunch of stuff they have left over and they bring it out to us at the end of the year. So on this one we get to play with this guy here. This is a Raspberry Pi Model B. The original. Back to basics. So we've got this guy here. And now what I was originally going to do with this was I was going to do a bigger project with it, but ended up not having enough of the parts to be able to do it. So I'll bring that out in another video down the road here. But for today, what we will be doing is we will be turning this guy into an audio recorder. So basically what I wanted it for was for doing voice work, or even having recording beside me on my bench for better audio quality in my videos. So I thought this would be a perfect time to test that out. This way you won't get any background noise from my computer or anything like that, because the Raspberry Pi is pretty darn quiet. In the kit that was provided to me, I got the Raspberry Pi and the SD card with, I do believe, Noobs is on there. So I'll just go ahead and I will put that into there. And away we go. That's it. So two things that I'm going to want to add to this is, one, Wi-Fi to get it set up. Then afterwards I'll be swapping it with my cheap little Bluetooth dongle, so that way I can monitor the audio output through a Bluetooth speaker, just to kind of gauge. Later on what I'll be doing, not in this video, but another video, if anyone's interested, I'll get it together with a better, bigger setup with audio mixer and the whole works. But for today, we are just using the Raspberry Pi. We're using the Bluetooth dongle, the Wi-Fi adapter, and one really cheap microphone on a stand. And then we have our cable to power, to put it to the Raspberry Pi. Not only do I want to be able to record on here, I want to be able to edit. So that was my big thing. That way I could take this anywhere, listen to the sound out of it, and be able to tell. Because when you do some audio work, you want it to be 100% quiet. Well, what better way to do that than with the Raspberry Pi? Okay, so we're back. So I did have a few issues when it came to this Raspberry Pi. The first thing being the system was completely out of date. So I had to download and install the newer version of Noobs, so that way I could get the newer distro of Raspbian on there. So after that, it was smooth sailing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get Audacity, whatever you want to call it, installed on here. Then we'll get our little Bluetooth speaker running, and we'll get that connected, and then we'll connect our microphone system and everything to it, and we'll see how it does. Now there might be some other stuff we want to add later on, but for right now, those are the main things that I want to get connected to this. Now I do have that Bluetooth dongle installed on there right now. I'm running Ethernet cable to it just because I have it there. But later on I might choose to swap out for the Wi-Fi, but for the most part it's going to be for an offline based system, and then if I do choose to upload whatever to another device, I can either do it via Bluetooth or insert the Wi-Fi dongle and then be able to transfer that. So to me, that's not a huge deal at this current time. So let's open up the terminal here. Sorry if the audio gets a little kind of bad at times here. It's not my intentions. Alright, so we're gonna... So all we need to do is just type in sudo apt get install. How do you spell it? A-U-D A-U-D-A-C-I-T-Y. Yep, there we go. Install Audacity. Now, I know this has been done many times before, but this is 2019. This unit was made back in 2013. Is it still relevant? Can I still use it for today's functions? Well, I guess we'll find out. Okay, so it looks like we had a little bit of an issue there with the Raspberry Pi, so we don't have the package for it. So let's have a look here and see what we can do. So I'm just going to go ahead and sudo apt get update, and then after that I'll do the sudo apt get upgrade, and then I will try the command again. It should be there, but who knows what's going on. I might have to add the repo to it if that doesn't work, but that's okay, we'll figure it out. Sorry about that, I'm just cleaning up. I did have a version of Kazam on the Raspberry Pi. I thought I would use that to do the screen recording, but it looks like it doesn't want to work, so I'm just cleaning up files that were there just to make sure everything's all good there. And my next command will be to install Audacity again. If that doesn't work, then we're going to have to look at something else here to get that going on here. So we'll see what happens here in a moment. Okay, sudo apt get install Audacity. And there we go. Now we have it installing at the moment here. What we'll do is we'll get that installed, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get the Bluetooth speaker connected and synced, and then we will plug it in and see if we can't get the audio to work on it. Now I might need a Y adapter for this to work, and honestly I'm not even sure if this cable works properly, but we'll find out soon enough. Not a huge project this time, but it's a project that I've wanted to do for some time, because doing audio work you want the quietest possible place with the least amount of background noise possible. Now next time what I'll do is I will hook up my mixer as well as my other microphone that is powered. So maybe we'll see what we can do with that, see if we can get better audio recording out of that, and we'll try a few things. Okay, so it just finished up. Now we can just exit out of here. And now we're going to get the Bluetooth speaker working. So all we're going to do is we're going to go to make discoverable. Well, no, we're going to add device. It's going to start searching, so I'll go ahead and turn my speaker on and click the pairing. Now it's in pairing mode. Should have hopefully no problems finding it. There we go. And then I'll just pair it. And the pin code usually on these guys is just 1 2 3 4 or 4 zeros. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, so 1 2 3 4. There we go. So it was 4 zeros on this device. It's either one or the other. I think I need to plug this guy in, so I'll go ahead and plug that guy into charge. I might have been using it up before there, so we'll just turn that on. It's now paired, so now we just have to go to the audio menu, and the preferences, audio device settings. I do believe this is where it is, and we're just going to set the output, no controls visible. What's going on? Set controls. That's the mixer. Oh. There we go. Now we should have it. Looks like there's just a little issue with the connection. It's now a solid blue light. It must have happened when it powered off there. So if we go to preference, audio device settings. No. Okay. Well, fine. So next step, let's get Audacity going. So it looks like the port on the Raspberry Pi, I completely forgot. It looks like it is basically speaker out only. So at this point, what we're going to have to do is attempt to plug in the mixer to it and use the USB interface with that. Hopefully it'll connect, but if not, we'll have to get a USB sound driver or sound card or some sort of setup. I'll have to look into it more, but it looks like this setup here will not work. So instead, what we'll be doing is we will be using this microphone here connected to my unit. So and this is the Neweer NW-700. So I'm just gonna, it's kind of silly that I won't go there. Alright, anyways, so we'll be using this guy here. So what I'm going to do is, for now, we will disconnect the Bluetooth since we won't be needing that. And then I'll hook up the mixer here. And we'll run this and see if it works. Hopefully it does. So, be right back. Okay, let's go start preferences, audio device settings. There we go. That will work, I think. And then we should be able to select the go there. Go to preferences here. And then we're going to go to we're not okay, let's set that to USB. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't, but it is reading it. I was trying to make it so that it was kind of a simple setup this time and not a bunch of mixers and different things involved. But for now, I guess we're going to have to, because of we don't have a USB adapter for a microphone on there. There we go. So this time it picked up. So now we have that. And you know what? No, we can't. I was going to say what I was going to do would be to I don't think I have any plugs kicking around. There we go. Got the plug, so now we can actually set this to the phone's adapter on the mixer. Okay, now you should be able to see what's going on. So all I did, this guy here was installed, and it's just to an RCA, and we got the quarter to well, your standard headphone jack, and now we just need the speaker. Okay, we're changing it up again here. I found one of my patch cables here, and we should be able to plug that there into there, and this guy here to the line in, and that should give us some sound in theory. Let's go ahead. Testing 1 2 3. Okay, so we have it working now. Now I have sound coming out here, so now we can actually go ahead and play around with it a little bit here. The lows are up. Turn that down a little bit. There we go. Testing. But I do believe I want it to the phones. Okay, so we have the microphone working. We got that going there. We got this guy going here. So let's go ahead and try recording a clip and see how it goes. Welcome to Game Tech Electronics Hobby House. Today we're going to be discussing the Raspberry Pi Model B and turning it into an audio giant for sound recording. Okay, so we got that recorded. The waveforms are there. I could have my levels completely off. But we'll see what happens here. We'll play it back, see if we get audio on here. If that works, then we're all set up and ready to rock and roll. Welcome to Game Tech Electronics Hobby House. Today we're going to be discussing the Raspberry Pi Model B and turning it into an audio giant for sound recording. I would recommend using a better audio headset with this when you're listening to your playback. That way you're going to actually get a better sound versus using a cheap little speaker. So take that into consideration, and yeah, eventually, you know what? By the looks of it, all you need is to be connected to the internet once. And then, yeah, like after I'm done mixing and editing all my stuff here, I can just upload it to whatever or use it for my videos to import into my videos as well later on. So I have a lot yet to play around with this, so I'll do an update video in a little bit, but for right now I'm able to plug in my headphones into the mixer, run everything through my mixer here, have a completely quiet system, and, you know, be able to record wherever I want. Now, I am using this guy here, the Behringer Q502USB, which is a very nice small unit. Now, people were complaining like, oh, it's not stable. Guess what? You're not touching it enough to make it any sound out of it while you're recording, so really, who cares? It's gonna happen. So we're gonna wrap this up. I'd like to thank everyone for watching today. If you enjoyed this project, make sure you post your comments below, give it a little thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.